your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like. It's your fancy. You can have it any way you want. Your fancy. You can have anything you like.
Thank you. Thank you. Creator of the universe, God the Good, loves you, Scorpio. October is the month of the angelic frequencies of the gemstone Opal. Now your birthstone is Citrine, Scorpio, so what we need to do is see how these two gemstones resonate with each other. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to contact me, please visit my website at www.readingsbyrosemary.com, where we provide you with all the information necessary on how you can obtain one of our spiritual consultations. Psychic Astrology, Rosicrucian Kabbalah, as well as classes and upcoming seminars. October's gemstone of Opal has the light emanations of the astrology archangel Zuriel. And your zodiac sign gemstone of Citrine has the properties of light bestowed by the archangel Barchiel. Stay right here as we give you the gemstones particular to your ruling planets of Mars and Pluto, Scorpio. Coral, red coral, the precious stones used to align oneself with the energies of the planetary angel Samael, who is the sign of the planet Mars in Kabbalah. Planetary archangel Chamael, or Kamael, is also considered to be an expression of martial power, since these names and resulting various angelic frequencies corresponding to Mars apply fierce levels of courageous bestowal, willpower, accomplishment, and also protection of those considered worthy. So be mindful of your own intentions and potency when utilizing these powerful gemstones in unison with each other. Now, regarding the planetary angel Chamael, what you want to do is make sure that you study the Zohar, because the Zohar has much information. It's the main book for Kabbalah and for Kabbalistic correspondences. People work off the Sefer Yetzirah and the Zohar. Now, another great book that we have on Kabbalah is Kabbalah Traditions of Hidden Knowledge. This is by Zev Ben Shimon Halevi. This is a wonderful book full of really great pictures. It has a lot of really wonderful photographs in it, and just really amazing different arrays of Kabbalah, the way the formula work, and different types. Because in the beginning, Kabbalah was concentric circles, and then it also has another permutation where you have the different sephira and the dimensions and the paths in between. So this is a very good book to really get a lot of not only the information but the pictorial aspect as well, so you can really see how it works. Okay, now regarding Chamael with the CH, you can spell it with a K. It's assigned again to the planet Mars in Kabbalah, or Kamael being Samael, sometimes Azazel on the other side of the coin, since these angels apply varying levels of willpower, courage, and also severity. So sometimes this can involve anger or violence. So be mindful again when utilizing these. So once again, you want to always soften these kind of energies, because if you're using a lot of the martial names and you're using a lot of the Mars associations, then you're going to be getting a lot of that intense energy. So what you want to do is sublimate and transmute and transform that strong warlike energy into something that just gives you energy that helps you achieve your goals. You're going to do a lot better working to achieve your own goals and using your energy to achieve your own goals rather than fighting other people. And a wonderful martial art that I was involved in many moons ago is Aikido. Aikido is a martial art where instead of fighting someone head on, you simply step to the side and help the person either get out of their way and just let them go where they're going to go, or you step to the side and help them going right where they're going. And that, that is something that is not confrontational and is actually way more powerful. So Aikido, that's a wonderful martial arts system to learn. Now regarding the Zohar, that states, who is he who said, see now that I, even I, am he, the cause high above all causes, the one that is called the cause of causes, a cause among all the rest of the causes. So every single one of these causes shall not do anything unless it receives permission from the cause above it. Also from the Zohar, the phrase, and there is no Elohim with me, Samael, said the serpent, I kill and I make alive. I kill with my Shekinah whoever is guilty, and I make alive with her whoever is innocent. Now, besides scriptural references and Zohar, besides Old New Testament, Tanakh, and Torah, and Gospels, and besides the Zohar and the Sefer Yetzirah, you can use modern books like The Angel's Message to Humanity. This is powerful Enochian magic. Gerald Schuller, PhD, and Betty Schuller, PhD. This is a wonderful book. It's beautiful, just majestic, wonderful, rich, seductive angel there on the front. And you see the Schulers are very knowledgeable about Enochian magic. This is a wonderful, a more modern book to utilize. We love that book. We also love, and this is the Angel's Message to Humanity. That's Llewellyn magic series. We have Enochian Magic, a practical manual, and this is the Angelic Language Revealed by Gerald and Betty Schuller. Again, this is by the Schulers, and they're well known in the magical community. And Llewellyn's High Magic series. Again, this is wonderful. It says, throw open the gates to a magical universe. And you see you have a Enochian Sphinx using an eagle and some Enochian tablet pictorial information there. Now we have here an advanced guide to Enochian magic. Wonderful book. Another Sphinx you see utilizing more of the lioness face and the Bastet, more the cat face. This is an advanced guide to Enochian magic. Gerald J. Schuller, a complete manual of angelic magic. These are sublime books. We also have books that are more, old books by, the writings of John D. and Edward Kelly, and again, Zohar, Sefer Yetzirah. But these modern books are wonderful because it kind of puts it all together for you and puts it in kind of a modern context. Because a lot of the people who write books about Enochian magic are involved in being computer programmers, because that's their mind works like that, and they're very good at doing that setting up those kinds of systems. So these are wonderful, and just every time I mention these books and bring them out to show, I can just feel because we did a lot of Enochian magic, I can just feel the energy of the Enochian angels here present with me. It's just wonderful. And they used to say in our order that when we're doing rituals to bring in the Enochian angels, they're also in their realms doing magic to bring us to where they are as well. Okay, now, regarding the planet Mars. Mars is known as the attribute of God the warrior, found in Exodus 15:3. In the Dewey Rames Bible we read, the Lord is a man of war, almighty is his name. Now, Scorpio, regarding your second ruling planet, the planetary angel Azrael is assigned to the Kuiper Belt planet Pluto in Kabbalah. Gemstones associated with Pluto include tourmalated quartz, obsidian, and meteorite. Now, Azrael is the angel of transformation and death, known as the angel who is the one whom God helps. Azrael occupies the third heaven, called Paradise, adding and subtracting the names of people in his large book, which he keeps until the end, when he will finally be the last to die. He is known as Azrael in the Zohar, where he accepts the prayers of those who reach the heavenly realm of the abode of God, also commanding many of the angels. Now, Pluto is known as the attribute of God, the rich Father, found in Luke chapter 12, verse 24 in the Douay Rheims Bible, we read, "Consider the ravens, for they sow not, neither do they reap, neither have they storehouse nor barn, and God feedeth them. How much are you more valuable than they?" Your water guardian archangel Gabriel speaks to you from your Scorpio astrology archangel, who is Barchiel. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your Scorpio zodiac angel Barchiel, who resides over the Scorpio's fixed water nature, and these are his messages for you in the areas of love, money, and health. Again, with the help of the guardian archangel over all water signs, who is Gabriel, who resides in the earth coordinates that we're talking about. He resides in the west when we're talking about earth coordinates, and has eminence and predominance over the cold, wet winds of the west. And that's in most popular Kabbalistic associations that has to do with Rosicrucian style or Golden Dawn style, and again, earth coordinates. Whereas with this style, the water is going to be placed, and those beings are going to be placed in the north. So you see celestial coordinates, water is going to be found in the north. So it's all a bit different. You have to know which you're talking about. Okay, now, again, regarding Barchiel's love, rapture, and romance transmission, the blue, green, or turquoise light frequencies of Barchiel combine with heartening, restorative remedies sparkling towards plush, authentically compassionate inner and outer medicinal health-giving elixirs, emanate gemstone beams of light enchanting to the ogle from the gemstone of Opal, thrilling your passionate desires through charming encouragement given forth from October's Venusian angelic realms in the journey of this birthstone's plentiful as well as uplifting and gleaming qualities. Also this month, because in October we have 7th house Libra style associations, and since Libra ruling planet is Venus, because Libra is the day dwelling of Venus, and the night dwelling of Venus is Taurus, you want to use a rose quartz. We have lovely rose quartz runestones. This is a lovely rose quartz dodecahedron, and we love to use this polygon when we're using it for healing Venusian energies. It has the energy of the rose, and we use lovely jojoba and rose oil is what we use, and it's very healing indeed. And also another association for rose, the flower of rose, is the Holy Blessed Mother Mary, the Blessed Virgin. She is also associated with Saturnine energies in the Sapphire of Binah, and her Saturnine energies are found up here, Keter, Chokhmah, Binah. When you're utilizing this, I believe this representation is before the fall, when the klipotic energies and the evil inclination was still contained, and Adam and Eve did not know, or Adam and Chava did not know they were naked, and the holy guardian angel Shekinah of the top supernals and everything, and we have Eve holding up Yaakov and Boaz, the pillars of the temple. This was believed before the fall. So because after the fall, the klipot creatures were released, and they filled the Sephirah, and then after the resurrection, because Christ is back on the throne instead of the ego, which of course the klipotic evil incarnation serpents or dragons represents the ego and the desires of the ego. There's 613, 620 desires, and there's only one desire for creator, and when that is placed where it belongs, then just that one desire for creator that encompasses all these but takes over. Then we have when Christ fills all the Sephirah and the Ruach, and there is no in Malkuth in the body, and there is no need for these other desires, because the desire for creator is so much more sublime, so much more seductive, so much better than any kind of desire for anything earthly. Earthly is desires are wonderful, but use them according to the commandments that you find in the Torah, and you will be able to have, you'll know exactly what to do. You won't have to wonder what should I do, because everything that you're supposed to do is well spelled out. So just follow the rules and just have your desire for Creator, and all will be well with you. Now, so that's regarding this structure and this type of Kabbalistic representation. This is an older representation, well-known representation. Again, Rosicrucian Golden Dawn style. Now, regarding the blue-green frequencies, you've got, remember, October's Venusian angelic realm. And the magical energies of a very mysterious permutation of Zodiac Angel Zuriel's natural 7th house attributes corresponding to Libra, in addition to your own Scorpio energies, bestows to you a quite alluring nature, glowing with anticipation towards seeing new dreams come to realization, as well as enduring in more opportune portents. Now, regarding these types of augurs and what you're going to be able to discern in the remote, less traveled paths ahead. Now, stay on the path. Chance the Bennu bird if you want to live. Beware risky ventures during Venusian courting sessions. Incredible earnings from good deeds are the source of the traditional zodiac sign of Libra. Again, this is Netzach, the ruler of, Netzach is the ruler of Venus, which is the ruling planet. And that is the point of captivating, awe-inspiring ways to really perk up your relationships for heightened enlightenment. Being our cause of ascension for humanity now includes those who live above the firmament, as well as those who live below the firmament. Now watch this in the book of Genesis, that's chapter 1, verse 7. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Expect an increasing commitment and sense of duty sparkling forth from a very peculiar hue of light that illuminates and beckons the spirit with great appetite for tonics, healing to both spirit and matter, obtained from a gem which shines attractive yet curative abilities for the owner of such a gemstone through lure of Venusian quality affected vortex centers of the throat chakra and the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra attributes, thus producing bountiful amounts of satisfaction throughout healing periods during knowledge and conversation of one's own holy guardian angel, yielding achievement of upper planes of existence allowed through use of higher sensory organs and smaller, though more ascended organelles during several ultradimensional and interdimensional communications made convincing through complementary associations within very really obscure references that are thought uncoupled Venusian lung and respiratory factors beholding to the humor of phlegm. Now watch this, follow this. It's, quote, its receptacle is the lungs and is governed by Venus. Some say by the moon. Perhaps it may be governed by them both. It is cold and moist in quality. So it's got that Gabriel, that archangel of the west. Gabriel, although, is more cold. This is cold and wet. This is cold and moist. It's got that sort of quality that's like nor'easter, like a nor'easter wind, with that moistness of the east and that coldness of the west, and that dampness of the west and the coldness of the north and the moistness of the east. So it's got that nor'easter type of energy, but it brings in plenty of that cold from the west, from the archangel Gabriel, because your guardian angel who rules over all the water signs is Gabriel. Okay, Scorpio. Now you have to understand that these ancient systems of alchemy have not been proven wrong. Actually, they've been proven right, because we have to regain what we knew from ancient times. I have lifetimes I remember in Atlantis. And I remember being a pre-scientist in Atlantis. It was a very important time. And that's being brought back now, along with some Lemurian attributes. Now, this particular quote that we mentioned is from Culpeper's Complete Herbal from 1643 on page 300. Again, its receptacle is the lungs and is governed by Venus. Some say by the moon, perhaps it may be governed by them both. It is cold and moist in quality. Now, continuing on with our transmission from Barchiel, your zodiac angel of Scorpio. Nevertheless, it is the kidneys that Venus rules over, and lumbar portions of the spine, throat chakra, thyroid gland attributes, as well as your high heart, thymus gland or upper solar plexus chakra, adrenal gland, and lower solar plexus, pancreas functions and awareness. Willpower through throat chakra, self-determination, vigor, vim and vigor through intelligence and upper and lower solar plexus qualities of ego health, activates Sephiroth of mercurial potency within Hod, which is here. Now, that mercurial potency, here you have alchemical Mercury, and that's associated with the Archangel Raphael. And this Mercury is associated. That's the Roman god Mercury, the Greek god Hermes Trismegistus, the god from Egypt and Atlantis, which is Thoth. Also, in the Christian representation, it's Archangel Raphael or Saint Raphael, Archangel Saint Raphael, and in the New Testament, it is in the Gospels, it is Saint Paul. It's Saint Paul in the book of Acts is mentioned as being the same as Mercury. That's why the intelligence from Saint Paul and those associated with Saint Paul, a lot of intelligence. You have Luna, the crescent moon. You have the solar alchemical portion here. You have the cross of corrosion, and you have Venusian energies, martial energies, Saturn and Jupiter representation, all coming together to make up alchemical Mercury. And we have been involved in not only consuming but also preparing and creating orbitally rearranged monatomic elements, monatomic gold, monatomic copper, monatomic silver, various formulations using a light salt, using ocean water, and also the wet morning dew method, which is just sublime. It really brings in these ultra-dimensional beings that are on the side of that is ultraviolet and infrared below and ultraviolet above. Those beings really come in. So very, very important to really know your alchemy. Now remember, Tiferet is included in soul, and invisible Sephir of the Ath is in the throat chakra, explaining how to obtain and identify, the Ath in the throat, one's lunar power in Yesod. These are just Hebrew words. Yesod means foundation. And again, this is for the accomplishment of activating your Venusian beauty and desire Netzach, calling upon one's passion, found in Marshal Gebura. You have Elohim Gebura, the god name, which will then offer sources of Sephirotic magical currents of charm for love magic, which is effective when influenced through Venusian qualities of desire and emotion, and very emotive, quite emo expressions of love in heartfelt ways, as well as sexuality for fruitful production of progeny, founding goddesses or gods of beauty cults such as cosmetic companies, and fertility cults such as modern medical fertility clinics, as well as seventh house attributes of law and commitment, being those who both heal and poison, such as therapeutic or toxic dosages of medicines corresponding to the Sephir of Netzach, named classically as Greek goddess Aphrodite, Roman goddess Venus, Egyptian goddess Bastet, and planetary archangel Anael, to invoke or invoke powerful magical currents when these are included in performance of ritual ceremonial magic. Apostle Jude Thaddeus is associated with the symbol of a lance, according to wonderfully sublime book entitled The Occult Christ, Angelic Mysteries, Seasonal Rituals, and the Divine Feminine by author Ted Andrews. This book also states that Apostle Jude Thaddeus represents all who live life courageously, and the cosmic principle of construction through courage associated with the degree of apprenticeship, along with James the Just, Simon, and Judas Iscariot. Again, that is The Occult Christ, Angelic Mysteries and Seasonal Rituals, and the Divine Feminine by author Ted Andrews. A must-have book. Now, regarding Bartschell's money and wealth transmission, which is next for you, what we want to do with these various forms and formula of magic is Kabbalistic formulas. We want to bring the energies from above down into the Sephir of Malkuth, where the physical world resides. You want to create it on the higher planes, and then you want to bring it down into the physical realms. And the reason, you have Zeus with the lightning bolt and how it kind of bounces off these pillars of Yakima and Boaz, because the vessel cannot yet contain a straight energy surge of magical current from Creator God right into that vessel, because it shatters. In the beginning, it shattered, and it's shattering of the vessel. And now we're engaged in Tikkun Olam, where we take those pieces of the vessel and we bring them back together so as to create a vessel. What you have is the ability, when you go and get something that has been shattered, like a broken relationship, and you bring it back together, like you're a facilitator, or the people, like, when you do readings or astrology charts, or when you're a psychologist or a psychiatrist or whatever, you're trying to heal relationships and make relationships healthy, and then bring them together again after they've been shattered and broken apart, bringing families back together, much like what Facebook has done, bringing families back together, and bringing co-workers back together, much like Google and YouTube and Facebook do. They bring friends and co-workers back together, and and as you do that, and you bring friendships back to yourself or help others, that act of doing that makes you in semblance of form with Creator. And also talking about semblance of form is J.J. Hurtak, and Mr. J.J. Hurtak, and he and the Keys of Enoch, the Keys of Enoch, a very important book, talks about semblance of form with Creator. So all important books, and this is the purpose of that. That's why it was shattered in the first place. I didn't used to understand that, but now I do. Now I understand that. I used to fight against it and say, why did God, didn't He know enough to not shatter the vessel? But if it hadn't been shattered, then those of us who are the creature and can only receive, to learn how to receive from more than the self and be more like in semblance of form with Creator, we do it to share and for each other. And as we do things for each other with the thought that we're doing it for the good of all, the divine good of all, and we do these things, then we're more in a state of bestowal, and we find semblance of form with Creator. And that's the purpose. I didn't used to know that. So that was a very important thing to learn. Now, regarding this sort of energy to bring that in and not shatter the vessel, you have to understand that a love of Creator God and constant prayer through desire for what God offers continually through holy guardian angel messages, as well as luxurious comprehension of tree of sublime knowledge of good and evil, dark and light, male and female, is the commandment of the demigods when the sun unites forces with Venus. All the demigods and all the Egyptian gods and goddesses represent the 46 chromosomes, and I believe some of that information is coming forth from the Brotherhood of Melchizedek, and in that book, The Ancient Secret, The Flower of Life. So it's a very important book that we mentioned in our September Gemstone video. Very important book. Now this kind of knowledge is, in knowing about it, again, the demigods will be brought into focus when the Sun unites forces with Venus while transiting through planetary angel Anael's Venusian angelic realms. That happens during October, and it's something that is attributed to the month of October, and you'll be able to hone in on the angels, the planetary angel Anael, this is the Venusian, and then the realm of the zodiac angel Zuriel, that's Libra, filling the heart up with compassionate yearnings. You're going to be involved in fixer-upper homes in October, turnkey businesses, and that's going to give ample good fortune, and it'll become available to rejuvenate any economic position from which one may want to gain profit. Now, banking institutions and businesses increase business through practices which help their customers. And it will be a helping through attending to the desires of those with whom they do business. And that'll be tending to financial law and also commitment to each investor. When Sol transits through natural 7th house frequencies where planetary archangel of Venus, Anael, and zodiac angel of Libra, Zuriel, oversee activity bringing desire for better circumstances and ascension, fulfilling dreams and longings through sacred knowledge of the working of God's great universe. And we have the Archangel Michael, the great mighty Archangel Michael, who represents Sol, or the sun. So you have Michael, it's Archangel Michael, Saint Michael, in association with, again, Zuriel, and also with Archangel Anael, so in October. So now this is the time for paying attention to one's own laws that your soul set in place from before creation, from before the creation of the world. And it will also strengthen commitments to priority relationships. Remember to charge your Lemurian crystals, and you're also going to want to help program these crystals to fulfill your goals. Managerial professions, as well as any avocation dealing with legal or organizational knowledge, prove valuable during natural 7th house considerations when the natural zodiac house of Libra, the scales, with enchanting Venusian allure causing the capability towards evoking great outcomes from treasure chests of angelic realms, keeping everyone well taken care of granting peace of mind. It'll be giving you a serenity, connecting to one's own personal money sprite in the Kabbalistic Sephiroth of Jupiterian Chesed. I'm sorry, this is Gebura. This is Gebura. Jupiterian Chesed is found here. We have Gebura and Chesed, or Gedula, or Chesed. And this is Gebura, Gedula, and that's another word for Chesed, mercy and severity. And you're going to be able to again manage and have legal organizational knowledge, and that's going to be very valuable in 7th house considerations of the natural zodiac house of Libra, the scales, when really you'll be able to have alluring abilities and the enchanting Venusian enchantment. You'll be able to draw others towards you. You'll have a magnetism, and you'll be able to invoke great outcomes from really treasure chests of angelic realms, keeping everyone well taken care of. Now, connecting to one's own personal money sprite, again, in Jupiterian Chesed and Venusian Netzach, which are important Sephiroth for income creation and money magic techniques, being abundant sources of money from where economic vitality, sustained through great organizational skills and sticking to one's own rules. Everyone's infamous favorite 1% resides in the world of Messiah, having the throne of Malkuth, the bride of the king, creating his kingdom in Malkuth, begotten from excellent craftsmanship of beings inhabiting the 99% of reality, given that good opportunities gotten through well-made magical talismans and amulets made with very loving hands, able to contact friendly and goodly beings brought to earth through the etheric plane understandings resulting from focus on earthly talents, dealing well with the friendly magical elementals upon which all magicians must rely. So remember that you're going to be dealing with the elementals, and you're going to want to make sure you include them in your magic. The the sylphs and the salamanders and the undines and the gnomes. Now, and the sylphs are air, and the salamanders are fire, and the gnomes are earth, and the undines are water. Wizards and wizardresses often invoke into their being, or invoke. You invoke into your being, or you invoke into fashion sacred spaces or magical circles the energies of the Sephirah of Binah. Binah found appear the top supernals, where Saturnine intelligences associated with Saturn, the intelligences, angels, and divine names are assigned in Kabbalah to characteristics such as hermetically sealing great power, which when released then manifest wondrous modes of increasing opportunities for healing one's finances or keeping already gotten finances in really tip-top condition. Attention to details of law, sustained commitment, and also your commitment really to God, your family, and your friends wins at the end of the day, especially when astrological progressions call for combining coral or red coral, obsidian or meteorite, including citrine with opal, including astrology, archangelic forces known to Barchiel and Zuriel, which lures in customers and clients through mystery, scent, sight, and sound, alluring to the senses. Powerful magnetism in the theaters of corporate law, internal, your internal goals are going to be brought through business and tax law, and also international law, and a great reward. But often remember too that sometimes a great reward will often also extract even a greater price from those who seek to control others. Now, our magical order likes to quip. I'm Imperatrix of the Hermetic Order of the Alchemical Flame, founded in the 90s. We like to say, control yourself lest others control you, unquote. Now watch this. Let's look at Romans chapter 13, verse 8. In the Webster Bible translation, we read, "Owe no man anything, but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law." The throat chakra, heart, and solar plexus chakras are quite invigorated, absorbed, and lustrous, gentle opal light, and harmonized during this time, chiefly when good economic health inspires really delicious environments and pioneering spirits through October's Gemstone, bestowing a frequency of comfort and an ample portion of monetary opportunities through which one may then prosper. You'll be able to have quite a bit of opulence. Now, regarding Barchiel's health and fitness transmission, your health and fitness transmission. Now we want to get to some of the excuse my artwork. It's not as detailed as some people's artwork. Mine is more cartoony because I kind of I illustrated one of my books that I wrote. I wrote a book many moons ago under the synonym of Catherine Michaels. I wrote a book called Cosmetic Surgery, Is It For You? It's called Crashing Into the Wall of Vanity, because I was a surgical nurse, and I wrote that book about some patients and some of the things that I saw, and I wrote it under a pseudonym, and I did all the cartoons in the book. I also illustrated it and made up a few jokes in the book, and we do have some of those books left. We're going to be selling that soon on Amazon. Now, regarding the health disciplines, they're going to prove fruitful because of increased zest for life from Venusian aspects unleashed during October's hosting of Sol. Commitment is your trophy, knowing and using ancient sciences such as alchemy, along with magical gemstone array strategies made with loving kindness in the hands of enticingly rich artisans. While the sun transits through natural 7th house attributes of law and commitment during October, help and compassion are going to be given. And things are going to be easily resolved during distinctive astrological confluence arrays of planets and moons and stars and all the various and sundry brain structures that are associated. And this is due to a balancing of the throat, heart, and solar plexus chakras. Throat, or fifth chakra, is analogous to invisible Sephirah of Da'ath, involving the thyroid gland through expression of personal resolve, through determined, powerful toning with added equanimity of Christ's humility and submission to Father God Creator. Ruach, or Holy Spirit-filled speech, is now healing and is achieved. And the fourth, or heart chakra, is secreting of healthful hormones such as thymosin from thymus gland structures, gives immune system good function. Improvement in health through fortification and strengthening of one's immune system is accomplished through frequent and extended practice of Tibetan rites, found in this book entitled Ancient Secrets of the Fountain of Youth by Peter Kelder. This important work has 2 volumes and is worth mentioning again and again and again, and I do. And this work describes regaining youth using an ancient Tibetan system of yoga called the 6 Tibetan rites, of which only 5 are well known due to extreme austerity. And this is necessary in keeping a heretofore veiled, potent 6th rite discipline in an esoteric, veiled system. Now, such practices keep one's energetic meridian system in sublime, healthful status, thus rejuvenating health. Upper and lower solar plexus, ductless glands include the adrenals and the pancreas, which is also very strengthened and revitalized using Tibetan yoga rites. All are stimulated when soul transits natural 7th house frequencies, where throat chakra enlivens one's sephirotic vortex centers of the Ath, knowledge, high heart, as well as upper and lower solar plexus chakra activation happens during this progression that involves the Sephir of Tiferet, which encompasses the soul of the heart and the ego of the solar plexus chakras. Fundamental awareness of one's true will leads to good adherence to biological law, giving rise to well-organized and accurate cellular task functioning towards vital health. A wonderful, comforting, balancing, and therapeutic focus occur during October when one's is going to impress one's own personal morphogenic field with an objective towards healing brought into reality through holding very firmly to universal laws. Follow this in 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, the New Heart English Bible. We read, "Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit which is in you, which you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body." Harmonized routines is important, and this is especially during October, and this is where the I Ching method of chakra healing in this portion of the year is significant for healing of the organs of the throat, chest, and lumbar spine, as well as natural 7th house qualities, being that October's zodiac sign of Libra's ruling planet Venus, which is concerned with Archangel Anael blessing and 10 Kabbalistic Sephirotic dimensions, plus bringing new awareness of 7 Sephir of Netzach, functioning, harnessing dimensions of desire, comfort, and healing remedies, these curative formulations, as well as conversely, be careful of toxic preparations, which these kind of tinctures are congruent with a sort of a, when you end up getting toxic amounts of anything, even information, or even the cosmic rays that are going to increase during the grand solar minimum, when selfish portions of one's ego overindulges. So be careful of overindulging. Even a good thing can become toxic. Even a vitamin can be toxic when overindulged. So you don't want to take too much of any one thing. Always check with your homeopathic physicians, your acupuncturist. Always check with your naturopathic physician, your allopathic physician. Personally, we are members of Kaiser, and we love our doctors from Kaiser. We have doctors that we love from Kaiser. That's a great system. Now, incorporation of the entire range of energetic frequencies of red coral for Mars, obsidian or meteorite for Pluto, citrine for Scorpio, and opal for Libra brings law and commitment disciplines during October, and this will cause you to become ever more able to reach your desires being alluring to others. You're going to want to be more alluring to others, and you will be if you utilize the Venusian qualities in October. Now, people are going to be lured in by your mysterious behavior and your peekaboo nature during this astrological transit, bringing lighthearted fun and fresh opportunities, lucky environments, as well as conjured up treasures from love magic, as well as your appetite for ritual, ceremonial, magical formula, when natural seventh house attributes of law and commitment is accentuated using October's gemstones, as well as those corresponding to the planet Venus. Your throat, heart, and solar plexus chakras are calculated to be of vast import throughout natural seventh house solar transits for the function of establishing rich treasures in heaven, leading to establishment of Christ's kingdom here on earth, transfiguring our earthly bodies into our glorified bodies in Christ Jesus our Lord. Christ demonstrated his light body, or his body of light, in Matthew, in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 17, verse 2. In the Webster Bible translation, we read, "And he was transfigured before them, and his face shone as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light." Astrocartographic, the arrangements of that in the present day, or even at birth, must be revealed if a holistic style of unveiling one's inner nature is truly desired. Disclaimers in order here. High magic should be used with all mindfulness, since powerful forces of manifestation are unleashed. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. Remember to chant your divine tone of eye, create or try out the higher aspect of simply meditating on the quality of creating, and be wise, be well, be all you are meant to be, Scorpio. Information found in this document is based on the oral tradition known as Kabbalah, taught to me by Rosicrucian clergy when I was but a young girl, the facts of which I have committed to memory. Thank you for joining us, and please join us again.